energy storage solutions as such. We're talking more about being customer focused and trying to see how we can save the customer money or enable net zero. So these are the main points that we are looking at in trying to enable customers to leave their path and go what they would like to do. In India, a majority of the development or progress will take place based on government policies. So we have great government policies, but some of them need to be implemented. And once that happens, we will see a huge expansion and growth in the energy storage business.
Government policy is one of the key drivers at this stage, especially when in the incubation process of new technologies. In a layman's term, or a good example I usually use is that policy is like a fishing boat, and the seagulls are following that fishing trailer, and this is where the entrepreneurs in the new ventures are actually following policy. In that sense, we as entrepreneurs and incubators follow that policy, and that is our guidance. The other thing that will drive it also is tariffs. And in India, we actually see very good tariffs still. I think the market is well priced for industry and the normal electricity users. Where in some other countries in Europe and in Africa, a price became a major driving force, which we don't see in India yet. It's something that we in India can be very grateful for. That this is one of those double-edged cutting sword, where if you have very high prices and good policy, then things start happening 10 times faster. But if you have very well priced energy tariffs and good policy, it's going to take us a bit slower to get there. But I think in this case, major companies, that's the drive, as Sameer said, want to go net zero. I think that will be one of the key drivers, and this is the space that we're addressing now. The biggest obstacle, as I said, is price. Every client, whether they're a big business or just a home user, they need to get return on investment. And the accountants look at net present value and return on investment. If they don't see it, they're reluctant to go. So that is one of our key obstacles. That being said, we're actually seeing increased interest in going net zero. And companies started looking at how can we enter this market, although it's just on a small way. How can we showcase that we're busy building capacity with inside the company, and that is very welcome from the entire industry, where companies like that is coming in. But as I said, biggest obstacle will be price at this stage. And with time, it will go better, because as all over the world, energy prices are busy on the increase, whether it's coal or gas. All over the world, this is a commodity that's getting more expensive.
And I think our basic approach has been to be flexible. So we are looking more at being just customer-oriented, flexible, changing the size of systems if required, so that the customer has, the best possible return or results based on our system. We've been focused on energy storage, and the long-term aim is to become a partner to our clients. So we are actually looking more as, cooperative agreements with other role players, like we did with Danfoss. So Danfoss is a partner of ours who provide the inverters, and with the result we can then provide complete solutions to our clients. We also are looking at all types of new technologies, cell chemistries, BMSs, and any component that will be used in the system. And we are technology agnostic, so we can actually work with any technology, and that I think is giving our customers a lot of self-confidence in the sense that going forward we can easily change around the system.
The main focus is here not to try to design a wheel or redesign a wheel. We focusing on key technologies like the battery management systems, and then we use stable technologies like our energy management system. We were built around a Siemens PLC, but there's certain items that we're then doing in-house as well. Part of this thing to be successful in a growing industry is to build capacity. Building capacity means we must invest in people to get the skill set, then to harvest these technologies that we can draw on. One thing that is also true is that the energy storage systems are actually very capital intensive. So we see that the battery part or the cells part is about 70% of the total cost of the system, which means that it gives us a breathing space to invest in labor and not to try to import the cheapest labor from other countries that might have a cheaper labor force, and that gives us the opportunity to invest in our own communities, which is crucial.
Significant part of our, or the most useful point that we have is that we are keeping them all, not product oriented, but more solution oriented. And there's literally no two proposals that we are making today which are similar. They are, in the same range, but they all are different and simply serving different purposes for the company. So it's a very fast developing landscape, and we have to be on the ball to make sure that we can provide the best customer solution as such. So customized solution as such. So that is a way to go forward.
One of the biggest mistakes that you can make in a growing industry like today is try to sell a product. I have a saying that we must respect the complexities of the problem. And if you don't respect that complexities, you can be assured you're going to get a hiding somewhere along the line. So as Sameer said, we in the business of designing custom solutions for clients. We're flexible in our approach. We're not wedded to a specific product or maybe a technology or maybe a cell chemistry. We look at the problem, we respect the complexity, we design a system, and then we try to see which technology is going to be best suited for that specific problem. And that is actually making us perhaps stronger than some of the companies that are just trying to sell something.
One of the first thing is that it's our desire to help people, become net zero or use more of green energy. I think that's one of the key factors. And we are also looking at different opportunities throughout, which result in people getting the best or the latest technologies or the latest, solutions as such for their companies and for their problems that they are facing or their goal. So I think we have continuously grown our portfolio, and we pioneer new developments all the time in sustainable renewable energy. And that would make the difference from us and to other people as such. We have gone through the hard phase, which is the phase of, evaluating technologies, systems, etc. And from now onwards, we are hoping more for deployment. And we are also seeing traction with clients, for example, who, pre-COVID or during COVID, who, contacted us, but then went silent. And now everybody is back, and I think budgets are in place. And the thought is very clear. We have to either, work more on green energy or go net zero. So between these two factors, I think we are seeing quite a rapid growth in our, sales as such, and that would help us going forward and actually establishing a large-scale business, which will be good for the environment.
If I can compare it, we're still in the Nokia 1010 phase. If we look at the energy storage fraternity, it's a very, very young industry. If we think we got smart batteries today, we must just hold our breath for another 5 years, and we're going to see astonishing things happen in the world. And the key is here that to see that technology coming, to go and harvest that new technologies, to know what's the new trend, what's going to happen in 2 or 3 years. And there we leverage a lot. Between me and Sameer, we leverage a lot on attending international exhibitions in Korea, in Germany, and go and make sure that not only that we know about the new products, but we can establish a trend on what's going to happen in 2 or 3 years' time. What's happening in Europe today will happen in India maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, and in South Africa in 2 or 3 years' time. So it's important for us not only to know what's happening today, but to go what's going to happen in 2 or 3 years' time. And that gives us the opportunity then to change our strategy or to build a strategy around those new developments. We will only be in a mature market in energy storage, or a relatively mature market, in 10 or 15 years. Just like the Nokia 1010 took about 10 or 15 years to get to the smartphones that we see today on our tables, that growth we're going to see in that market. So from a future point of view, we're lucky in the sense it's not as fast as the IT industry, where every 18 months, Moore's law dictated that every 8 months we will either see a double of either speed or capacity of these devices. We are fortunate that it's not that fast. In a very capital intensive environment, it's very bad if it's going too fast, but we're seeing good movements. And I think the holy grail is hydrogen, which still finds places in niche markets today, but will probably be a big player in 10 years' time. And as I said, that's the holy grail of storage, is hydrogen. But we're still a far away from that. But there are very new technologies that's promising that will break the market in 4 or 5 years' time.